Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News. The Supreme Court has dismissed the application by Jerry Singirok for leave to review the decision of the National Court challenging Ramsey Pariwa's win in the 2022 National General Elections.
Supreme Court Judge Justice Derek Hudson dismissed Jerry Singirok's application being in breach of Order 5 Rule 10C of the Supreme Court Rules 2012. The applicant failed to briefly state the nature of the case as required by Order 5 Rule 10C of the Supreme Court Rules. The court relied on the case of Dollar v. Alua 2023 that despite Form 5A not providing a space for the nature of the case to be pleaded, it is mandatory under Order 5 Rule 10C of the Supreme Court Rule 2012 to state the nature of the case in the application for leave to review. The applicant failed to state the nature of the case, so the case was dismissed. Lawyer representing Pariwa, Martin Combry, said Singirok's petition in the National Court was about errors and omissions. Combry said it was before the court that the petitioner, Singirok, had proved some errors and omissions committed by officers of the Electoral Commission during the counting and scrutinizing process. However, it did not establish whether they had any materials that affects the result of the elections, which resulted in the Midday National Court on the 23rd of August 2023 dismissing the petition.
At least identify the persons involved, that's one requirement. Two, the errors and omissions that were, the conduct that were alleged to be errors and omissions. And three, those resulted in the results being affected, the final results being affected. Those were not established at the National Court. Therefore, the court dismissed the petition. Okay, there are certain criteria you have to meet before to file the application for leave to review. One of which is you have to state the nature of the case. Under the Supreme Court rules, you have to state the nature of the case. Here, they failed to state the nature of the case.
Combry said now that the court has dismissed Singirok's application, they will now wait for the decision on Yama's objection to competency application that was heard by the Supreme Court. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
The One Talk Bosco camp recently united nearly 200 participants from Don Bosco parishes, schools and institutions around Port Moresby and the Gulf Province. Held from June 21st to 23rd at Don Bosco Technical Secondary School in Gabutu, the camp centered on the theme, The Dream That Makes You Dream.
The camp began last Friday evening with registration and icebreakers. Father Gilbert, parish priest of MHOC Hia, commended the youth leaders for their dedication. Father Gregory Bicomand, SDB, the provincial superior for PGS Vice Province, delivered a thought-provoking talk emphasizing the importance of dreams and a strong relationship with God. Saturday started at 4:30 a.m. with energetic games. Dr. Anna Totti from Port Moresby General Hospital gave a talk on mental health, focusing on resilience and coping mechanism. Participants engaged in team-building exercises and community service, cleaning the DBTS campus and Mary Help of Christians Parish, Sabama. Dr. Ambrose Pereira highlighted the eco-friendly cleanup efforts. Principal Martin Dai, a pioneer student of DBTS, encouraged participants to dream like Don Bosco. The day ended with a vacation talk by Father Shaw Matthew, SDB, followed by a lively evening of songs, dramas, and dance. Sunday began with a holy mass presided by Father Mosi Palokau, SDB, whose holy encouraged everyone to be a source of help in times of need. The camp concluded with live music, dancing, and lunch. Student Silas Combio Jr. shared his inspiration from learning about Don Bosco's dream. As the camp ended, participants departed with mixed emotions, ready to share their experiences and newfound knowledge with their communities. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Residents in Tasmania's highlands woke up to thick highs this morning, with temperatures dropping below -12 in some places. The state's third coldest temperature ever was recorded in Liawini. While extreme conditions brought some challenges, locals also enjoy the frosty landscape.
Roads, bushland frosted white, and lakes frozen solid. All signs of a very chilly night, with the air at Liawini dropping to -12.9, a contender for the coldest temperature in Australia this year.
The -12.9 is the third coldest event that we've seen recorded in Tasmania. It is also a July record for the Liawini observation site.
The extreme temperatures caused plumbing problems at the Great Lake Hotel, forcing it to close for the day.
We came to work this morning and the ground staff had found that several of our water pipes had burst, and of course we were shut, so we've had a series of water flows into some accommodation rooms.
For owner James Johns, the cold snap is business as usual.
For 7 months of the year you're basically in either a state of it being cold or wet or snowy, and it's just life, and it's the reason why people come up to the Central Highlands, is because it's wild and it's woolly and it's a bit different.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
Down the road at Brandon, near Liawini, resident Linda Holstein has been loving the icy conditions.
Oh, getting up this morning, besides it being so cold, the view was spectacular, but inside the lounge room I had hot air coming out of my mouth when I was talking. I guarantee it must have been about 7 degrees in there.
Living in this area isn't without its challenges during the cold months.
I think one of the biggest things I had to learn at this time of the year, and I had to learn it the hard way, is every night you have to turn your water off and drain all the pipes. I don't reckon today we'll get water at all.
In the meantime, she will stay cosy inside, with the cold conditions hanging around for the week. I'm at the edge of Great Lake, and as you can see behind me, there's still thick ice on the water's edge, showing no sign of melting anytime soon. And the Bureau of Meteorology says it could be just as cold tomorrow.
The federal opposition's idea to break up the nation's supermarket chains is causing ructions within Liberal ranks. Some MPs claim they were ambushed by the policy, which they say is at odds with the party's free market ideals. But the coalition's leadership insists it's needed to make sure the biggest retailers play fair.
With a tonic for a winter cough.
Actually, give me 1 sec, guys.
And criticism of the coalition's cure for supermarket ailments.
Peter Dutton always goes for the most divisive option.
The federal opposition wants the power to break up major supermarket chains if they're found guilty of ripping off customers and suppliers.
Is to say to the big supermarkets, shape up or we are going to split you up.
Putting the coalition on an unlikely unity ticket with the Greens.
It is now just the Australian Labor Party that is standing in between millions of Australian shoppers and cheaper food and grocery prices.
This is madness. I mean, this is what happens when a party forgets who they are and adopt a Greens economic policy. Congratulations, Senator McKim. Welcome to the Shadow Cabinet.
The government believes divestment powers simply wouldn't work.
If you make supermarkets sell, are they allowed to sell to another big rival? Does it mean they close down more stores in local communities?
Labor seizing on disquiet within coalition ranks, several Liberals claiming they were ambushed and that their leader has kowtowed to the Nationals.
It's been quite a journey for the Liberal Party. Menzies tried to ban the Communist Party. They want to adopt the Communist Party model.
Having diverse ideas in a party room is a good thing. That's what we should celebrate in democracy. Not be suspended from your party, not be intimidated because you have a different view.
It's a pivot from the Nationals leader, but it is a pertinent one given the ongoing tensions within Labor about the conduct of suspended Senator Fatima Payman. News she is courting new political advisers and Muslim community groups is fuelling speculation she may be about to cut ties with Labor, given she claims she's been exiled from the party after speaking up about its stance on the Israel-Gaza war.
I expect further announcements in coming days, which will explain exactly what the strategy has been over now more than a month.
Just in time for Parliament's long winter break.
The Tasmanian government's mandatory cashless gaming card won't be in place until at least the end of 2025 due to the complexities of developing the new system. While the government has described the delay as disappointing, social welfare groups says it needs to introduce interim harm reduction measures to help problem gamblers.
Coins flow freely into Tasmanian gaming machines, but a nation-leading plan for cards to replace cash has got stuck.
Every day that the introduction of the card is delayed means that people are experiencing gambling harm.
In the 2022-23 financial year, Tasmanians lost almost $200 million on poker machines. That's $500,000 a day, and an average of more than $3,000 a year per person who gambles. In 2022, then Finance Minister Michael Ferguson announced a mandatory card-based play scheme that would cap how much gamblers could lose. Yearly losses would be limited to $5,000. The scheme was meant to be in place by the end of next year, but Max Gaming, the company chosen to create the system, says it needs at least another 18 months.
This is brand new technology, and with that comes complexities, and while we are disappointed that there will be a delay, we want to make sure we get this right.
The Tasmanian Hospitality Association, which strongly opposes the scheme, has described the original timeline as ridiculous, saying Mr Ferguson's decision was made with zero consultation with industry, zero consultation with gaming manufacturers, and more importantly, zero consultation with his own party. He continually declined to listen to the experts in the field, and now the Liberal government has been forced to admit these measures were never a realistic chance of being in place in time.
And there will be suspicion about this decision and the strategy around this decision. Is this just kicking the can down the road and delaying the inevitable, and so that ultimately these measures aren't put in place?
It's vital. It needs to go ahead as it was recommended by the Tasmanian Liquor and Gaming Commission.
Social welfare groups say the government should introduce harm reduction measures in the interim.
This is slower speed rotations. This is bet limits of $1. These are things that have been long discussed in the community, and a pre-commitment card was part of the justification for not implementing those.
The government says it's already taking action to reduce gambling harm, including working with interested venues to implement facial recognition technology.
In sports, former Tumbe and Guria utility player Alex Max is releasing his debut season with the SPPNG Hunters, while his ability to conjure up tries from any position and anywhere on the field has become his trademark. Against Ipswich Jets on Sunday, Max played at centre after a short stint on the sideline, making an impact by scoring 2 tries in the 5th and 9th minutes to help the Hunters come out victors in the end.
After being stood down for a match for ill discipline, the Jiwaka lad repaid the trust and faith coach Paul Ayton and teammates have in his ability and commitment and what he brings to the team. His unwavering commitment and work ethics and the passion that he brings to his game is second to none. Max said after last week's win over the Jets, he's feeling good about himself, but a lot more work to do in order to unleash his full playing potential.
I try to be in the team. I give my best during my training, and yeah, I was put back to the team, and I said I'm going to give my best. Do I with some tries? And yeah, I do. And I put 2 tries, and I was really pleased with my games.
With the competition ramping up and teams hitting good form, Max believes the Hunters, with their current playing group, can create their own history playing finals footy again since the foundation team won it back in 2017.
It's just a very crucial game for us to be in the top. If we win the next game, could be we cement the position in a top 8, and that could be a history to PNG for some years. They haven't gone into top 8, and we're very pleased to give the best of our game next weekend, and hopefully we're gonna win the game and be in the top 8. Yeah.
Max is hoping to stay fit and injury-free for the balance of the year so that they can contribute to the team's short-term and long-term goals that they have set for this year.
I've been, look after my body since when I was given that position. Thought that many boys have been looking forward to wear that jersey, so I just keep my form on the standard where it's supposed to be. About my health, is prioritize my health, and I've been looking forward to look after my body to give my best throughout the season, which is I know that many boys are coming up for that jersey or that position, so I have to maintain my health to maintain my position. Yeah, that's.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Thanks for your company. Join us at 6 for the main bulletin.